Hello friends, I am here at the Toronto Film Festival. I was going to try and do more daily vlogs, but that didn't work out just because this is crazy running from screening to screening, but I figured I'd recap. I'm on day 3 or 4 at this point, I'm losing track. So I do a little recap of the movies that I've seen recently. Most recently, just got out of, tried to find the quietest street I could. There goes that car. Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knives Out movie. I thought it was good. I don't think it's as strong as the first film. I do think it's stronger than the second one. Josh O'Connor is really your lead in this film, honestly. He's the lead for at least like the first half. Daniel Craig does not show up for a long time in this movie. I think it's probably the latest he shows up in any of the films, which worked for me because Josh O'Connor is just incredible in this. I think he's already been my favorite actor of like his current generation, but he just continues to prove that showcase role for him. The other major standout I would say was Glenn Close. She gets a juicy role here. She gets more to do as the film goes along, and she's Glenn Close. She absolutely nails it. Brolin is good as well. And that's probably it in terms of standouts. Not as much of an ensemble film, I would say, as the two other ones. A lot of great actors who don't get a ton to do, like Haley Spaney doesn't get much to do. Andrew Scott doesn't get much. Jeremy Renner doesn't. They get stuff to do, but I don't think it's as balanced out as it was in previous films. And I do think the mystery here gets a little too convoluted, at least for my liking. I feel like there's too many like little twists and subplots, and I think they maybe could have simplified it a little more. Like he says in the first film, I think there's too many donut holes in this mystery, but it still worked. It's a fun time. If you've liked the past two movies, you'll have a blast with this. So for sure, good time. After that, actually, I think I just saw Rental Family. I mixed up the order. Brendan Fraser film, really moving stuff. I had a great time with this. I was a little worried it might be like a little too saccharine and like manipulative for me, but I think it strikes the perfect tone and balance. I think Brendan Fraser is like, this is a role that's perfectly tailored to him as an actor, as like this just lovable like teddy bear persona. This role is just perfect for him, and he's great in it. He absolutely nails it. The whole ensemble is great. Like there's I think this is her name, a child performer. I think her name is Shannon Gorman. Her whole subplot with Brendan Fraser, his character, really moving stuff. Same with his subplot with Akira Emoto's character, also very moving stuff. But yeah, I think it's just like a perfectly constructed crowd pleaser that the audience laughed at a ton. I also heard a ton of cheering up. I also laughed a ton. I also cheered up multiple times. I'm an easy crier. I'm an easy target in those regards, but it still got me multiple times. So yeah, I had a great time. Huge crowd pleaser. I would definitely see probably the last two films I mentioned placing in the People's Choice, because I think Wake Up Dead Man was also a pretty big crowd pleaser from what I could tell from the audience response. I'm trying my best to remember all of the films that I've seen, so walk with me here, literally. I think before that then was Ann Lee today, The Testament of Ann Lee. Did not love this as much as I wanted to. I wasn't a huge fan of The Brutalist, so I don't know. I also wasn't a huge fan of this either. I probably still liked this a little less. I just found the plot to be shockingly straightforward and basic. I thought it would maybe be a little more experimental, but it's pretty straightforward. Amanda Seyfried is great in it. She gives a great committed performance for sure. It's probably some of her best work, but I would say that the film overall doesn't really give you enough in terms of her character to like latch onto. I feel like she's kind of at a distance for most of the film, and she doesn't have character development. I just found it very hard to connect to both her character, like as a person, and also her whole mission. So I found, because I couldn't really connect to any of that stuff, I found it to be a pretty long like experience. Like it felt long. It's only like I think 2 hours and 20 minutes or so, and maybe even less, and it felt longer than The Brutalist. So yeah, I mean, Amanda Seyfried is very good. There's some great like singing sequences, and the choreography is great, some beautiful shots, but it really didn't do much for me. Then Sentimental Value was very good. I think maybe I went in with maybe a little too high of expectations. Just the buzz out of Cannes was like, this is better than Worst Person in the World. This is like a Trier's masterpiece. I don't think it's quite on that level, but I think it's very good. It's like a solid 8 out of 10 for me. All of the ensemble is great. Like you heard, Skarsgård is great. Rensby is very good. I think her performance in Worst Person in the World is much better though, because she's much more of a lead in that. I'd say her and Skarsgård are probably pretty even leads in this. Elle Fanning is good in her supporting role as well. I would say the supporting actress standout though is Inga Ibsdottir Lilius, hopefully I'm saying that right. She, to me, was the entire heart of the film. She just has a very like quiet resilience and power to her that I found she was the easiest character to latch onto, and I think she just like I would just say she's the heart of the film for sure. And she has some great moments towards the end of the film, but I think she kind of ties the whole family together in a way in the film, because Skarsgård and Rensvik have some beef, and I think she ties the whole film together as well. So definitely a huge picture contender. I don't think this is picture win material in my opinion. I don't think it's that strong, but I think it's still like a top tier contender for sure, and it's very good, solid. It was just an accident. Definitely did live up to the Cannes hype. Definitely lives up to the Palme d'Or hype. Just incredible stuff. Really, really surprisingly funny. I was shocked at how funny it was, but it's able to be very funny while also like striking the proper tonal balance and like the seriousness of like the stuff that these characters have gone through. It's able to strike that tonal balance very well while being like slight and funny as well. So great stuff. Great ensemble, great performances all around, I would say. And yeah, great writing. The writing in particular is incredible, and I would say the ending is like one of the best endings I've seen this year. Probably will be one of the best endings come of the end of the year. Great ending, and you always want to leave your film on a high note. So definitely one of the best endings, and that's a big plus for that. I think I might have to push this up in my best picture rankings just because it really worked. I think this might be pretty big. Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey, America Ferrera, Paul Greengrass's movie. Worked better than I expected, honestly. Worked pretty well for me. It starts off rough with some really cliche family stuff with Matthew McConaughey's character that I found like laughably cliche, like eye roll worthy. But once it gets into like the actual wildfire stuff and he gets involved in that, it gets much better. Both him and Ferrera are very good. The VFX is, I don't even know, I need to like see behind the scenes of how they made this movie, because it's insane. I need to know the balance between like practical and actual VFX. The cinematography is stunning. The visual effects like integration into it is just perfect. So it's very engaging once you get into the wildfires. Very very moving emotional climax. This is definitely the most I've cried at a film so far at TIFF. It might be a little manipulative, but you know, it really worked for me. So I liked it overall. It's like probably a solid like 3 stars for me. I don't think it's going to be anything major, but it's better than expected. Secret Agent with Wagner Moura. This was a little bit of a disappointment to me. I think Wagner Moura is incredible in it, but it's really slow in like the first hour, maybe hour and a half, and there wasn't really much plot or much to latch onto. It gets much better like in the second half, like the final act, but I'm gonna be honest, it was very hard to stay awake during like that first hour and a half. It's very, I just don't think the pacing works. I think there's just some weird structure choices that don't completely work for me. So I'd say Moura is definitely the highlight, but unfortunately did not completely work for me. If I Had Legs, I'd Kick You. Rose Byrne, incredible in this, career best work. She deserves the Oscar nomination, in my opinion. I think it's just, there's no way she wouldn't be in my top 5 at the end of the year. And the film overall, really good. I liked it more than I expected. I think it does a very good job at putting you in a character's like mental headspace. I think the last time I saw a film as effective at this was probably like 8th grade, just in terms of experiencing a character's like dread and just anxiety and all that stuff. I think it does a very good job at that. It gets a little one note with all of the like crazy stuff going on, but it's still very effective. Really liked it. Rose Byrne, incredible. Sarat. Go into this knowing as little as possible. This is one of the biggest surprises, one of my favorites so far. There are multiple moments in this film that had my jaw on the floor, like truly shocked me, and it's hard enough for a film to do that once, let alone twice. So yeah, please seek this out. Incredible stuff. Loved it. I think that's most of the major stuff here. Nirvana, the band, the movie, hilarious, great stuff, really funny. It's the hardest I've laughed in a while. And what else was there? Caroline, wild, crazy ride, really fun, really liked it. So yeah, that's all the major stuff that I've seen so far at TIFF. That's pretty much it. I don't want to make this video too long, so subscribe to stay tuned for more coverage. We'll have full reviews for most of these movies and all that stuff. And thank you for watching. Peace.